I have links with some really good companies, as some of you are probably aware, not only in the UK but across Europe, Russia and Asia. So it's Russia this week, sort of via a very good friend in Spain. So it's probably only fitting that this week's gun is the Matador. No, it really is. No bull. Hello and welcome to AAR on Air. Yes, it's EDgun time. This week it's the R5M Matador. Now, before I get stuck into the review of this little beauty, I should let you know that the Matador R5M and the EDgun Leshy and Leshy 2 prototype are currently available at Vector Air for people to take a look at. So, let's do just that, shall we? Let's take a look at this Matador. As always, the walk around. Like most EDguns, it's pretty short at around 70 centimetres or 27.5 inches long and weighs in unscoped at 3.3 kilograms or 7.3 pounds. It is typical EDgun and is both radical and away from the norm in terms of design. There are no poor quality materials used in construction, and the word to use when looking at any EDgun product is engineered. Because they always are. Not necessarily cheap, but you don't get this level of engineering on a budget. That doesn't mean you don't get value for money, though. The stock on this particular one is honed out of a single piece of walnut and has a radical curve to it, sweeping from low at the front to higher in the middle and then back downwards towards the butt. It is beautifully made and has no sharp or rough edges anywhere in sight. It is all smooth with no stippling, but I really don't think it's required because this sits nicely in your hand and shoulder. It's not about to move anywhere. The grip has that now becoming familiar straight up and down Russian military feel to it. And again, typical EDgun. It has that cutout for your middle finger to slot into, adding stability and grip. It has a really flat bottom to the front, almost hamster style, to be able to rest it onto the palm of your hand. This is very much a true ambidextrous item and even has the bolt on both sides, together with a full wrap over cheek piece in what feels like Alcantara. The 10 round magazine in this 2.2 cal version does drop in from the right hand side and does not in any way get in the way if you're shooting left-handed. Out in the front we see that offset moderator or silencer that is very EDgun in design, and it resembles the Mark I Leshy pretty closely. If in fact though it is a bit more complicated in shape and design internally. It does however do a very good job of quietening this down greatly. Behind this is the 16-inch or 406mm German-made match-grade Lothar-Walther barrel. Underneath that is the filler port with twist dust cover and the electronic pressure gauge, which probably has more computing power than Apollo 11, giving far more information than just the pressure, such as average pressures per shot, temperature, and much more. Given a choice, just a really good analogue gauge would be my preference, but that's probably just me showing my age. It is pretty easy to swap this out if you prefer the analogue gauge. Filling this to its maximum 300 bar fill is very simple and should really be undertaken when you're nearing about 120 bar left in this one's 280cc cylinder. At this point, it's pretty difficult to say what its shot count is, but I can say at higher FAC level power levels, it states around 60 good shots. So this sub 12 for the UK market would produce substantially more and could be up to around 190 shots depending on caliber, according to the spec sheets, that is. The scope rail on the top is pretty standard stuff, but it does have a slot to put your spare magazine into, which is another nice touch. On top of this, I fitted a vector optic scope to this one, which is a first focal plane and is pretty amazing. And I'm hoping for big things in the target section later. The two magazines are just as I like them. Really simple and efficient. Nothing fancy. They just work. And loading them is a very simple activity. Simply drop in each pellet from the back, and they are held in place by not one but two O-rings. Not going anywhere. Then when you've done, it's a very simple activity to simply pull back the bolt, drop in your magazine, lock it into place, and you're good to go. The lever at the back engages the magazine into place, with the lever at the bottom being the safety catch, which is part in Russian, but it is up for safe, down for fire. Again, simple and efficient, and it works with a reassuring click and feel to it. And it is left and right-handed, so operates on both sides. The side action is slightly different to other rifles, not only with the dual side option, but the feel is slightly different and benefits from a firm but not overly aggressive pull back, followed by a slight push forward to engage the pellet into the barrel. At this point, I should point out that it doesn't need and really shouldn't be pulled to cock it from both sides, just one side only. But you do have that all-important choice around how you choose to cock it. Trigger hand or left hand. Right at the very back, there is a really nice finish to the butt pad with raised soft bars and also a loop for fitting a strap or the like. The trigger is a two-stage item and is ribbed and grippy and adjustable. But when I say adjustable, I mean first and second stages. It can even be operated without a second stage, making this particular trigger's pull weight irrelevant because it can be personalised to suit the individual owner. But I found this really comfortable straight out the box. Well, that's pretty much guided tour over. Let's take a look at this in action, shall we? Target work then. Out at 40 metres with this sub 12 foot-pound 2.2. Here goes. A couple of takeaways here. Yes, it's accurate. I really didn't expect anything else, to be fair. And this scope, in its first focal plane form, is a real gem to use. Maybe not as high magnification as I would like for longer range target work, but nonetheless a real beauty. Naturally, this is the sub 12 foot-pound version, but a full FAC higher power version is of course available. And it is also available in different lengths and, as I've already said, different calibers. I admit to fastly becoming a bit of an EDgun fan, and even though I am probably a little late to the party with the Matador because it has been around for a while, it certainly doesn't feel dated. I think EDgun are pretty radical when they first come out, which means they stay up to date and modern for quite some time to come. They are also less likely to be seen around. which gives them that eliteness when you're out with your mates or down at the range. This level of exclusivity and quality naturally doesn't come cheap, and prices start at around €1,750, which at current rates is about £1,575 UK. But remember, quality does come at a price, and I would look at this more from a value for money point of view, and the quality, finish and accuracy and engineering certainly puts this in the value for money section in my view, especially when you put it at the side of some other well-known high-end air rifles. It comes in synthetic, walnut and laminate stocks, 17722 and 25 calibers, so you're not limited when it comes to choice. You probably gathered I like this, and it will be hanging around for a while. And it is one I will be spending a fair bit more time with, just for the sheer pleasure of it. Sometimes I really enjoy my time with a gun, and increasingly EDguns are hitting the spot for me. I am very grateful to Francisco for kindly sending this for me to review and enjoy. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed making it. If you have, please give us the usual thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Click the alarm bell to make sure that we keep you advised when new videos come out. Follow us on the usual places. There is so much going off these days, and don't forget to visit us on www.aaronair.com. There's a dash in there as well somewhere. There are some really exciting things in the pipeline, hopefully starting over the next few weeks. But that's it for now. Stay safe, shoot safe, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching.